Good evening, everyone. This is research scholar Ms. M. Rinki with the reference number of 117 LKA25. I'm here to present my paper on innovative models for sustainable urban development, balancing economic growth and environmental conservations in Indian cities. This paper we have done with under the guardianship of Dr. Sunita R., who is my guide and also assistant professor of Institute of Management Studies, Davangere. So I welcome you all and thank you, the authorities, for giving me the opportunity to present the paper here. So my presentation will flow in this manner: introduction, then literature review, then research methodology, objectives of the study, findings and interpretations, and suggestions. Let us go one by one with the introduction. As you know, India is undergoing one of the most significant urban transformation in history. And cities are engines of economic growth, innovation, and social mobility, attracting millions of people in search of the livelihoods. However, this rapid, often unplanned urbanization has given immense pressure on the natural environment. You know that there is a challenges of air and water pollution. There is a depletion of natural resources, loss of diversity, and increased vulnerability to climate change. The central dilemma facing Indian urbanism today is how to sustain the economic dynamism while preserving and enhancing the ecological system that support our urban life. That means even the development has to go along with the natural and environment constraints also have to be considered before going for any urbanization. Some of the literatures which I have used for my study, they are from T.N. Basu, and the paper of systematic review of how eco-environment transformation due to urbanization investigated and sustainable development. He rightly highlights the complexity of tracking eco-friendly transformation and argued that more systematic approaches has to be carried out. In one more paper of Udur Purvava, Sustainable City Development is Possible, a review of challenges practices towards the urban development, he also rightly says that even the main hurdle for this development says as financial constraint, weak governance, and rapid population growth. It also outlines the key practices like stakeholder participation, integrated, and land use planning. And one of the other paper of literature is Kaur and Garg in his Urban Sustainability Assessment Tool, a review. He says that there could be various tools that can help cities benchmark their performance, identify the areas of improvement, track the programs, and they argue that without effective tools for measurement and monitoring, sustainable becomes a very vague concept rather than actionable policy objective. Even I could find that in Mahindra R.G. paper, leading the way sustainable development, economic dynamics, and Viksit Bharat 2047, Mahindra connects the concept of sustainable development directly to Indian long-term national vision, that is at 2047. It frames the sustainability not as a constraint but as definitely essential pathway to achieve the advanced economic status what the India is trying to want to reach at 2047. This suggests that economic dynamics will be inextricably linked with the nation ability to manage its resources and also providing high levels policy justification. And few more papers for your reference I have already mentioned here by Chauhan. It says that offering a critical perspective, the review maximizes the smart and world-class cities. They also caution against creating pockets of high tech modernity while neglecting the broad issues of social equity and environmental health. So in all the papers what I have studied and gone through, they always talks about urbanization is must, but you have to keep in mind of environmental health and its exploitation should not be there. One of the paper of Praharaj also talks about in 2021 the article titled Area-Based Urban Renewal Approach for Smart Cities Development in India, Challenges and Inclusion Sustainability. He also has rightly dwells the area-based development model. Area-based area you have to develop and there should be systematic challenges for the whole of city should be targeted or pointed from point to point. Some of the other review literatures of Sukhmani, Dr. Ramaiah and Dr. Rahman, he also and Dr. Verma, they all have in this paper, respective papers have mentioned and focus on the urban vital development, including the transportation, the city waste, the sustainability. Their more concern was on sustainability. Let us go further regarding the objectives of my study. While using this, what are the objectives I have set for the paper, sorry, to analyze the current models and policies governing urban development in India, particularly in the cities the mission. The second objective to evaluate the extent to which these models are successful in balancing economic growth and environmental conservation. To identify the primary barriers, what are the primary barriers like governance, financial and social, which are hindering the implementation of the urban models. The fourth one objective is to explore the potential of innovative approaches like nexus thinking, green finance, and circular economy principles in the Indian context. To propose, and one of the other objectives is to propose an integrated strategic framework for fostering more sustainable, resilient, and inclusive urban development of India. These were my objectives for this research. The research design and methodology type of the study is a descriptive one. Research design aimed to provide a comprehensive and detailed account of current state of sustainability in the growth of India. The sources of data is primary. The data was collected through a structured online survey administered by a panel of experts, those are in urban development. They provide contemporary practitioner level insights. Secondary data are the sources of peer-reviewed academic journals and also the government bodies like NITI Aayog and Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. The sampling plan, the experts in the profession directly involved in urban development in India, like planners, the officials, and the developed authorities were been consulted, and those could be the academicians and representatives of real estate of infrastructure development firms. These people were my sample hunting, and sample technique was purposive sampling were used to select the individuals with demonstrable expertise. Based upon their expertise, we have selected and chosen for them to go for our survey. The tools and techniques for data collection. Structured questionnaires are prepared with having multiple choice option along with Likert scale questions to quantify the expert opinions on the effectiveness of current policies, key challenges, and the potential of innovative models. What is the problem statement we can find in this paper on this article says that despite the proliferation of policies and missions aimed at sustainable urbanism like Smart Cities Mission, Amrut, which is an initiative of the government, Indian cities continue to exhibit a significant policy practice gap. That means though the policy has been framed, but there is a gap in the implementation. The exhibition does not happen very fast. It takes a lot of time because of the fragmented governance. The policies will not be implemented. The implementation of genuinely sustainable development models that balance economic growth and the environmental conservation systematically is not guaranteed. Governance structures, inadequate and misangled financial mechanism, and lack of political will be enforce environmental regulations. This leads to development pattern that prioritize short-term economic gains at an expense of long-term ecological resilience and social equity, thereby underlying the very goals these policies were designed to achieve. In the same data analysis interpretation, the expert survey reveals a stark reality about the urban development in India. Governance is the core problem. Governance, because as we know, Indian is not a centralized having the political issue where central government and state government are different, where an overwhelming 40% of experts have identified that as we have the fragmented governments, that means bit everywhere the governance changes, and the lack of political will, which has a primary barrier that suggests that the problem is less about the lack of ideas. That means we have a lot of ideas. We have a capability of coordinate and can implement that. But the problem is that the governors, the people, the political will, they only are stepping back to reinforce the policies. This is followed by the closely by funding issues. 35% says this, and reinforcing the importance of financial models discussed by Rehan also can be understood here. It also said that I also would like to say that ambivalence towards the smart cities mission, the flagship urban program receives lukewarm response. That means whenever the central government or the government, when they starts up the program of smart city missions, nearly my respondents felt that 48% have felt that it was moderately effective, and over a quarter, that is 27%, see it largely ineffective of achieving holistic sustainability. Though they are good, but they are not able to achieve what it has been dreamt for. The growth in the next one finding says the growth environment imbalance is real. A clear majority of 62% of experts believe that economic growth is highly controversial consideration. This quantifies the central problem statement of the research that is concerned with. Sorry, am I audible, sir? That is intended balance is not being achieved in the practice. The practical innovation are favored. When asked about promising models, expert favored practical resource-focused solutions. Circular economic models, 32% already said, and green infrastructure, 28% ranked highest. This indicates that a desire of tangible solutions that address pressing issues like waste management and lack of green spaces, as highlighted in my paper, another reference paper, as well as integrated management models like the WEF Nexus, which was mentioned in Sukhmani 2020 paper. The primary obstacles to sustainable urban development in India are fragmented governments. The findings are inadequate financial models, more so than lack of technical issues. The Indian Smart Cities mission is perceived by experts as only moderately effective in fostering holistic sustainability, which concern about its impact on equity of the environment. There is a strong consensus about the practitioners that the current development paradigm in Indian cities disproportionately favors short-term economic growth over long-term environment sustainability. That means we people, very states are always talk about short-term economic growth, but nobody is focusing on environmental, which is required as a long-term environment sustainability. Experts see the greatest potentials in innovative models that focus on resource efficiency and nature-based solutions such as circular economy, green infrastructure, and integrated resource management. So about the suggestions, based upon the findings, suggestions I want to keep them as establish empowered metropolitan planning authorities to combat fragmented governance. Cities must empower themselves. The statutory bodies should work with the jurisdiction over entire metropolitan regions. These authorities should be responsible for creating and enforces integrated spatial plans that align transport, housing, water, and green space development. This is not a work of any one person or one or two, but it talks about the whole department and the whole planning authorities to should working for them. Mandate and mainstream sustainability assessment. I suggest that there should be a mandate. From the main street, the sustainability should be assessed. The use of urban sustainable assessment tools are reviewed as reviewed by some of the authors. We should make it as a mandatory that how the urban projects are working, whether the development decisions are data driven or does it support the environmental or there are social impacts which are considered for the outset. Then one of the suggestions I would like to give is create a national urban sustainability fund. Please, it's a request to the government authorities to address the funding gap. The government should establish a dedicated fund to co-finance sustainable urban projects. Because once the fund is released by the central government or the government authorities, it will take a lot of time to reach the particular place. The fund, where it goes off, about scenario. So this fund can be capitalized to green bonds and public funds that can be used in leverage private investment in line with the green banking principles which are discussed in the Rahman et al. Paper in 2023. Then I would like to also suggest that launching a living lab mission for innovative models. If anybody is willing to do the innovative models, there should be a space for them to show up their talent. The government should launch missions to pilot and scale the innovative models. For instance, select cities would become a circular economy labs or urban access labs to test and demonstrate the feasibility of these integrated approaches, building an example of Nagpur, which was studied by Sukhmani et al. In his 2020 paper. I also suggest to the authorities that reframe policy from projects to system, shift the focus on urban missions from delivering isolated projects, new metro line in specific spot area, to improving the performance of entire urban systems. The entire mobility system, the city-wide water system, this requires a more holistic and integrated planning approach. If you want to come with the conclusion of my paper, that from ideas to impact, the challenge of sustainable Indian cities. The problem here is a significant gap exists between the innovative urban policies and the real work implementation. the real challenge. It's not about just building smart infrastructure. The core issue is how the urban development, that is the governance, financing, and the measurement. That how you're going to control it, how you're going to keep and check on it, how much the project which has been given, whether it has been implemented, whether it has been done or not, what are the things which are lacking behind, where the government has to take an initiative or where the government has to take the action. That becomes a real challenge. Then what is the next path forward for that? We must build a smarter institution for focusing on integrated planning. All the planning should be integrated one, united, connected to one another. It should not be the different states are developing using the different plans and approaching that. There should be a holistic approach to our design and urban development. Innovative finances, securing creative funding for projects, securing the creative, how the fund, let the public also be involved in that so that they can fund our for the Mother Earth. Measurable outcomes, committing to tracking the quality, quantifying progress. The vision could be by doing this, we can transform the Indian cities from cities of conflict into models of sustainable progress growth. Some of the differences I mentioned here are different papers which I have gone through. I thank all the authorities of Sri Lankan Conference, 22nd Conference, for giving me opportunity to present myself. If I have any questions, if you have anyone have questions, can ask me. Thank you so much, sir, for giving me the opportunity to present myself in front of the public on this 22nd International Conference organizing at Sri Lanka.